Alright, I'm going to read a short excerpt from something I've been writing. It's about the bad effects of communism and why it should be stopped. This particular portion of the writing will be about CRT, or critical race theory. Alright. One such attempt has recently surfaced its way to the forefront of the US. This is critical race theory. This is an offshoot of critical theory, which was created at the Frankfurt School. The Frankfurt School and its members were looking for reasons as to why communism hadn't already manifested itself into the world. They remained puzzled and sought out reasons and solutions to bring about communism. The result was critical theory, which evolved then into critical race theory. Critical race theory has been explained in the approved critical race theory book called Critical Race Theory: The Key Writings That Formed the Movement, published in 1995, and we're going to be focusing on Crenshaw. Now, they explain how the values that created the theory were, and this is a quote, "To understand the regime of white supremacy and its subordination of people of color, which has been created and maintained in America, and in particular to examine the relationship that the social structure and professed ideals such as the rule of law and equal protection. The second is a desire not to merely understand the vexed bond between law and racial power, but to change it." Now, the position that is presupposed is that the United States has a white supremacy hold over the population as a fact. The US is therefore the target of this theory, which needs to be stopped or transformed. This in and of itself makes it an enemy of the United States, its people, and its allies if they support or are neutral of the United States and its systems. The support for and at its base core means a destruction of the state itself. To be taught in schools would be akin to teaching that the USA shouldn't have been founded and that all created upon it is a mistake. The basis and core ideas, if they are true and believed wholly, will create an incredibly harmful effect on whoever is taught this material. Taken to its logical conclusion, these ideas create and can cause divisions between people in every institution of the society. That being the case, as the whole society is purported to be a white supremacist nation built upon and enslaving people of color therein. This is a revolution against the revolution of the USA. The fruits of the USA are evil and cannot be accepted in the solution, communism. The Constitution is a white supremacist creation, and all of its contents are void, therefore. The Bill of Rights are supremacist and need to be removed. Laws themselves can be traced back to white individuals, and therefore they cannot be used, as they are biased against people of color and must be destroyed. That is the goal and logical conclusion of the theories of CRT, which is that the nation is and was founded as a white supremacist system and therefore must be deconstructed apart from that original created poison. Now I'm going to read another shorter part here. Not that the USA needs to be anti-racist specifically, but it is true that in law the USA doesn't discriminate based on race on its own basis. The laws are formed as equal based on character, not based on race. However, race consciousness in critical race theory wishes to bring about a new issue. And this will be a quote as well. These quotes will either be from White Fragility or it will be from the Critical Race Theory book. Now, here's a quote. "With its explicit embrace of race consciousness, critical race theory aims to re-examine the terms by which race and racism have been negotiated in American consciousness and to recover and revitalize the radical tradition of race consciousness among African Americans and other peoples of color, a tradition that was discarded when integration, assimilation, and the idea of color blindness became the official norms of racial enlightenment. Now, that being stated, their intended goal is to go back on integration, to go back on assimilation, to go back on the idea of color blindness. They wish for consciousness of race consciousness. And they state explicitly that they don't wish and don't want the people of the USA to be colorblind to race. They don't want people unbothered by race, to be assimilated with each other together. They don't want unity. They call for the ideas of hyper-focus on factors that have no bearing on your choices, desires, or thoughts. They want race to be the ultimate signifier in every way. They actively wish for the radicalization of the USA against its own institutions of anti-race focus. The replacement of the system will inherently create new laws, institutions, and systems based on race. The USA needs to work particularly hard to avoid from this terrible idea. However, the theory has already been introduced and is slowly indoctrinating people as I write. The rejection of treatment based on race is of the utmost importance and must be held back. Thank you. And I will be continuing to write further. I've already hit about 6,000 words. I'm planning on at least doubling that before I can get anywhere near to publishing anything of this sort. And I would like any feedback possible. Thank you. Please like and share. Bye.